Something significant shifted this week for every American homeowner over 60. And the people most affected by it are the last ones being informed. Not by their mortgage company, not by their county tax office, not by the evening news. 4 separate developments landed this week that touch the financial foundation of senior homeownership directly, and each one carries either a deadline you need to know about or an opportunity that closes before summer ends. The first is a property tax reassessment wave hitting this July that millions of longtime homeowners have no idea is bearing down on them. The second is a quiet structural failure in senior property tax relief programs that is pushing eligible homeowners out of protections they legally deserve. The third involves enforcement changes to reverse mortgage rules taking effect this summer that are blindsiding families who thought they understood what they signed. And the fourth is genuinely good news, but only for the people who find out about it and move before the application window shuts. Every one of these developments gets broken down today in plain language with specific steps attached. Subscribe right now and activate the notification bell before we go further. What I am covering today is breaking as of this week, and every item on this list has a clock attached to it. Subscribe so you are never finding out from a piece of mail that the deadline already passed. We start with the most time-sensitive situation because the clock on this one is already moving and most of the people it will hit have no idea it exists. This July, multiple states are activating revised property tax reassessment cycles that will affect homeowners who have held their properties for 10 years or longer. This is not a rumor or a projection. It is scheduled policy that was written into legislation in multiple states during 2024 and 2025, and that takes effect in the third quarter of 2026. The states activating accelerated reassessment schedules this July include several of the country's most heavily populated retirement destinations. And the financial mechanism is straightforward in a way that is going to shock a lot of people when the bill arrives. Under the previous reassessment schedules in these states, a homeowner who bought their property 15 or 20 years ago might only see their home reassessed for tax purposes every 5 or 6 years, or in some jurisdictions, only when the property changed hands. That created a meaningful financial cushion. The taxable value used to calculate the annual bill, the number the county multiplies by the tax rate, often lagged far behind what the home was actually worth on the open market. For retired homeowners on fixed incomes navigating a rising real estate environment, that gap between taxable value and market value was the buffer that kept their housing costs manageable. The new reassessment cycles compress that buffer and in many cases eliminate it entirely. County assessors are now being required to bring taxable values to current market levels on a shorter and more frequent schedule. In markets where home values have climbed between 35% and 60% over the past 5 years, that recalibration is not a minor administrative update. It is a bill increase that can reach into the thousands of dollars arriving without any advance public warning for homeowners who have never encountered anything like it before. Put real numbers on it and the scale becomes clear. A home purchased in 2008 for $180,000, now carrying a current market value of $420,000, but assessed for tax purposes at $210,000 under the old cycle, generates an annual property tax bill of roughly $2,520 at a 1.2% effective rate. Under the new reassessment bringing taxable value to current market, that same property generates a bill of $5,040 annually at the identical rate. A $2,520 increase in a single year. For a household managing on Social Security plus modest pension or retirement account withdrawals, an additional $210 per month in fixed housing costs is not a rounding difference. It is the threshold that separates a budget that functions from one that does not. And because reassessment happens administratively through a mailed notice rather than through a public vote, millions of homeowners will encounter this as a surprise when the new bill arrives rather than as a debated policy change they had time to prepare for. Here is what to do. Contact your county assessor's office right now before July and ask directly whether residential properties are being reassessed in 2026 and what the proposed new assessed value of your specific property will be. Most counties are legally required to send a notice of proposed assessment before a new value takes effect. That notice comes with an appeal window, typically somewhere between 30 and 90 days. If the window closes without action on your part, you are locked into the new